Welcome to today's episode, where we explore the incredible rise of one of history's most fascinating figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. From a modest upbringing on the island of Corsica to commanding armies that dominated Europe, Napoleon's story is one of ambition, genius, and an unyielding drive for greatness. Stay with us as we dive into the life, victories, and legacy of this legendary figure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an epic tale like this. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, in Ajaccio, Corsica, just 1 year after the island became a French territory. His family was of minor nobility, and although they were not wealthy, they managed to secure him a place in a prestigious military academy in France. Napoleon was a determined student, excelling in mathematics, geography, and military history. These skills would later prove invaluable on the battlefield. At the young age of 16, Napoleon became an officer in the French army, but his ambitions went far beyond a standard military career. In 1789, the French Revolution erupted, shaking the foundations of the nation and providing Napoleon with an unprecedented opportunity. As the monarchy crumbled and chaos spread, the French military sought talented leaders to defend the revolution. Napoleon's first major break came during the siege of Toulon in 1793. Displaying remarkable tactical brilliance, he led an attack that forced British forces to abandon the port city. This victory earned him national recognition and a promotion to brigadier general at just 24 years old. Napoleon's rapid rise continued, but it wasn't without controversy. In 1795, political turmoil in Paris led to an uprising against the government. Napoleon, tasked with defending the regime, employed a bold strategy, using cannons to disperse the rebels in what became known as the Whiff of Grapeshot. This decisive action earned him the admiration of political leaders and solidified his reputation as a man capable of restoring order in times of chaos. In 1796, Napoleon was given command of the French army of Italy, and it was here that he truly began to shine. The Italian campaign showcased his military genius, as he led his forces to victory against Austria and its allies. Napoleon's ability to outmaneuver and outthink his opponents became legendary. He used innovative strategies, rapid troop movements, and psychological warfare to outclass enemy generals. His victories not only expanded France's territory but also brought him immense wealth and fame. By the time he returned to Paris, he was hailed as a hero of the Republic. Napoleon's ambitions, however, were not limited to Europe. In 1798, he launched an expedition to Egypt, seeking to disrupt British trade routes and expand French influence. While the campaign included victories on land, such as the Battle of the Pyramids, it also exposed Napoleon's vulnerability. The French fleet was destroyed by the British Navy under Admiral Horatio Nelson at the Battle of the Nile, leaving Napoleon's forces stranded. Despite this setback, Napoleon skillfully controlled the narrative upon his return to France, presenting the expedition as a success and emphasizing the scientific discoveries made by his team. Back in France, political instability continued to plague the government. Sensing an opportunity, Napoleon staged a coup d'état in November 1799, overthrowing the Directory and establishing himself as first consul. This move effectively made him the most powerful man in France. To consolidate his power, Napoleon introduced sweeping reforms, including a new legal code known as the Napoleonic Code. This set of laws emphasized equality before the law, religious tolerance, and property rights. It became a foundation for modern legal systems worldwide and remains one of Napoleon's most enduring legacies. Napoleon's domestic policies were aimed at stabilizing France and ensuring loyalty to his regime. He re-established the Catholic Church through the Concordat of 1801, mended relations with the aristocracy, and invested in infrastructure projects. These measures won him widespread support, but Napoleon's ambition for empire was far from satisfied. In 1804, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of the French in a grand ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral. This act symbolized his belief that his authority came not from the church or the people, but from his own achievements. As emperor, Napoleon embarked on a series of military campaigns that would define his legacy as one of history's greatest commanders. The Napoleonic Wars saw France clash with coalitions of European powers determined to contain Napoleon's ambitions. His victories at battles such as Austerlitz, Jena, and Wagram showcased his mastery of strategy in logistics. At Austerlitz, often considered his greatest victory, Napoleon outmaneuvered a combined Russian and Austrian force, securing a decisive win that reshaped the balance of power in Europe. His reforms extended to the territories he conquered, where he introduced the Napoleonic Code, abolished feudal privileges, and promoted meritocracy. However, Napoleon's insatiable desire for expansion led to costly mistakes. In 1812, he launched an invasion of Russia, aiming to force Tsar Alexander I to comply with his continental system, an economic blockade against Britain. While the campaign began with initial successes, it turned into a disaster as the Russian army employed scorched earth tactics, leaving Napoleon's forces without supplies. The brutal winter and constant guerrilla attacks decimated his army. By the time Napoleon retreated, he had lost the majority of his troops, marking a turning point in his reign. The Russian campaign weakened Napoleon's hold on Europe, and his enemies seized the opportunity to strike. In 1814, a coalition of European powers invaded France, forcing Napoleon to abdicate. He was exiled to the island of Elba, but his story was far from over. Less than a year later, he escaped from Elba, rallied his supporters, and returned to France in what became known as the 100 Days. Napoleon's return to power was short-lived. In June 1815, he faced the Duke of Wellington and a coalition army at the Battle of Waterloo. Despite his strategic brilliance, Napoleon was unable to overcome the combined forces of his enemies. Defeated, he was forced to abdicate once more and was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. It was there, in 1821, that Napoleon died, leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate the world. Napoleon Bonaparte's road to empire is a story of extraordinary ambition, unparalleled military genius, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. He transformed France and left an indelible mark on Europe and beyond. Whether celebrated as a hero or criticized as a conqueror, his impact on history is undeniable. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Napoleon. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. What part of Napoleon's story fascinates you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Stay tuned for more epic tales from history, and we'll see you in the next episode.